Hello and welcome to another update video about Litecoin. On the Litecoin chart, the situation is unchanged, but we have some interesting developments on the lower time frames we're going to zoom into. The idea is still that at least there is a potential for a 5-wave move up here that formed into the July highs. Okay, so we have a 5-wave move. We can interpret it as a 5-wave move. It's not the best one, I have to say. And what I don't like about it is that this last wave was very short. So that's the problem. And the sell-off was quite steep. So we have two support levels left, one of which I expect to be broken. And then we need to see if the 48, 49, let's call it $49 level is holding. So that level must hold, or we are dealing with a bearish scenario that can send the price to just below $30. We talked about that in the last few videos. So this is basically for me the pivot point between a potential third wave rally and new bear market lows and potentially another 40 to 50% price drop to round about $27. There's a Fibonacci relationship level there, or Fibonacci extension level there, that points towards that level, right? So until then, we deal here with a potential ABC structure. Don't really like the look of it either. Looks quite impulsive on the way down, but it's still a potential ABC, and overall it has kind of a corrective look as well with some overlapping price action. So I give it the chance and say, okay, I primarily still expect lower prices, but it certainly could come down. I mean, you can also interpret this as a more complex WXY XZ pattern like on the XRP chart, yeah. But that doesn't make a difference in the short term. What is important to understand is that we're probably here starting the last wave of this correction to the downside. However, I don't expect $56 to hold, because it should really, to complete it, break below the third wave low. At the moment, it hasn't given us any strong indication that it goes back into an uptrend yet, because the last rally was in 3 waves and the move down in 5 indicates further downside. The question is just, okay, has this wave 2? So if I say, okay, we come down in 5 waves, has this wave 2 already finished here? I think that's sort of, that's a bit unclear at this stage. And the question, however, doesn't need answering. We can't answer it right now because we don't know. The key is to be focused at the moment, or I'm focused at the moment on the downside against the $69 resistance level. Above that is just too high for a wave 2. Until then, the wave 2 could stretch out. It's a perfect spot to start a C wave rally if it wants to do it. Alternatively, it is possible that the wave 2 is already in. But then the assumption would also be correct to be focused on the downside. And that it's forming here, oh, actually it would have to be here. That is forming a leading diagonal in the wave 3. Because if we're already in the wave 3, then it would be also a 5-wave move. So we would say, okay, we had here a small one, maybe a leading diagonal, have a descending wedge. Can you see that? A small descending wedge that should ideally break to the upside. Yeah, it's not the most beautiful wedge, but I think we can argue it's a diagonal pattern. If it's a wave 1 of wave 3, it would be a diagonal. So we would expect a bit of a break to the upside here in a wave 2 retracement, and then it should do this. So either way, I think it would be reasonable to expect here a break to the upside of the wedge pattern. It's just that in a C wave, it would be quite an aggressive move up most likely. And if this is really just a small, diagonal to the downside, then it would just be a very shallow and short rally. So the depth of that rally will tell us more about, okay, are we already in the third wave? So if the rally ends below the wave 2 high, or what I have labeled now as wave 2, if the rally ends below $65, then we should already be in the third wave and would then expect a break below the today's low, basically. Or if it's quite a substantial rally, I would count it as a C wave of wave 2, and it's still unfolding wave 2. There's quite a bit of distance it could travel. Between $66 and $69 is resistance. That's my update about Litecoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.